Company. As a family jewelry business for almost 100 years, we are known for doing right by our customers. Our legacy of integrity depends on it. Here are 3 things we never do. We never cut corners. Our engagement rings are made to high-quality standards, and we stand behind them with our all-inclusive free lifetime warranty. We never buy diamonds without seeing them in person. We travel to the source, eliminate the middleman, and get first pick of the most beautiful stones. Then negotiate the price on your behalf. We never try to trick you on price. We don't mark up the rings just to mark them down and call it a sale. We offer true value from the start, so you get the best price every time. At Shane Company, we put you first because a friend always has your back. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Get your to-do list ready. The Home Depot just opened a new store in Buckeye, Arizona. So whether you're making simple upgrades or full-on renovations, the Home Depot has you covered with great prices on tools, materials, rentals, and more. Plus, order online or with the Home Depot app, and you can get it all delivered to your door fast and free. Visit us at 20410 West Roosevelt Street in Buckeye and start your project today with the Home Depot.
Oh, hey, Sarah. Did you hear my daughter Katie got Camper of the Week?
That's a big deal.
We got a big deal too, right, Mom?
Honey, shh.
What's that?
Okay, that Hyundai Santa Fe, I only paid.
Nice.
Deal's so right, it almost feels wrong. The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Get 0% APR for 60 months, plus 0 payments for 90 days, or 1.9% APR for 72 months on the Hyundai Tucson, Santa Fe, or Santa Fe Hybrid during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Hurry, offer ends August 3rd. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
The KDUS AM 1060 app is brought to you by Law Bear Auto Accident Attorneys. Hurry to lawbear.com.
That's lawbear.com. The bear has your back.
It's the lunch break.
Thursday edition of the lunch break here on KDUS AM 1060. Streaming on the free KDUS AM 1060 app, and you can watch us on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. Chris Schubert, producer Evan with you here once again on the show. Thanks for hanging out with us as we still await the floodgates to open for the MLB trade deadline that is now just 4 days away. Monday is just 4 days away. It's an off day for the Diamondbacks, so perhaps they can get some business done today. It is a Take a Note Thursday on the program as well, and the latest from Cardinals training camp here on the show. Producer Evan.
Please hold.
I'm holding. How are you, my friend?
I'm good. It's been a little bit of a crazy morning. UPS people.
You walked into my office this morning, and you looked like at 9:15, 9:30, you had already had a full day. Before you had even sat down in the chair and we had put the show together, it seemed like you had been through the ringer, and you are learning because you're, 8 years younger than I am?
Yes.
You are learning now how to be an adult. You are learning all of the trials and tribulations of moving and what that requires, what happens, and the frustration that it causes. So this is a huge moment in your life. You are learning what it means to be an adult, which is you're just frustrated at a lot of people at all times. So welcome to adulthood. You're here. You've made it.
Thank you. I'm proud to be here. I'm excited to be here. I just need to get through the move.
You need to get to Saturday morning.
Yes.
When you wake up.
And at that point, you're
first
not fully
night's
moved
sleep
in
the new place.
But I just need my stuff in there.
Right. Saturday morning, you wake up, had your first sleep in the new place.
Yep.
And you've got boxes to unpack. There's still work to be done. But the hard part is behind you.
And then things I didn't even think about that my girlfriend's bringing up to me, like shower curtain. That hadn't even crossed my mind.
Yeah, well, so you're proving that you're just a dude and you just don't think about those things.
Yeah. So I just getting through it. Got to get to tomorrow.
Because my wife, before she was my wife, helped me move twice. She helped me move from an apartment into a house that I was renting, and then from the house that I was renting into the house with her.
Yeah.
And the things that she thinks of that I wasn't thinking of, I wouldn't be able to last another couple days without her.
Exactly. That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Yeah, vitally important to my everyday existence.
She's been extremely important to this phase of my life.
Well, good luck. You get the U-Haul. You get the U-Haul tonight.
U-Haul tonight at 6.
You start packing it up. Tomorrow's the big day, so we'll see. We'll take a temperature tomorrow morning to see how you are when we do the Friday edition.
I'm gonna go get my keys before the show. So I'll have my keys to the new place, and then I'll come to work.
U-Haul all packed up.
U-Haul all packed up.
We'll get a big story of the chaos that it was packing up the U-Haul tonight. We'll have it all on the Friday edition of the show.
I'll keep everybody updated on how it goes tomorrow.
Maybe before then, we'll have a major trade in Major League Baseball. I'm not really
Good
sure.
luck with that.
Not really sure that's going to be the case. But we did learn something yesterday. And it's not great news. Because I think the Diamondbacks are going to do the thing that I hate the most.
Time for our top story of the day. It's the Daily Special.
I usually would say we don't do this on the show. We've done it a couple of times, so I can no longer say that we don't do it. It is few and far between when we reference other people in this industry, in this business. But when a certain somebody in this industry, who maybe works for another radio station and does a radio show not during the time that we're on the air, when that person tweets, usually it means something. And that person tweeted yesterday, and he kind of pulled the curtain back on what the Diamondbacks' trade deadline plans were. And he made it seem like the Diamondbacks are not going to be checking off all those boxes on the list. Not going to go out and get a high-leverage arm and a bat and a starter. That the financial situation that the Diamondbacks find themselves in, how close they are to the first tier of the luxury tax, is going to preclude them from making an addition at the deadline. And then in the tweet was probably my least favorite thing that people in baseball do. Because Corbin Burns is going to come back. And Justin Martinez is going to come back. And Jordan Lawler is going to come back. And so that's like adding a starter at the deadline. That's like adding a high leverage reliever at the deadline. That's like adding a bat at the deadline. Those three pieces I don't think were pointed out accidentally. They are a piece in every single bucket that we think the Diamondbacks should be shopping in between now and Monday. Jordan Lawler, there's your bat. Corbin Burns, there's your starter. Justin Martinez, there's your high-leverage reliever, a guy that probably could have been the closer of this team this year if he didn't get hurt last year. Was on the track to being the closer of this team because of how nasty this stuff is. Everybody on this show knows how much I love Justin Martinez and think he is the future of this team, that he is their long-term closer, that they don't have to go closer by committee like they're going to for the remainder of the season. That's the guy. Tommy John surgery, hurt, missing a year. End of August, middle of August is when we think he could return. I hate this strategy. I hate this approach. And it's not just the Diamondbacks. A bunch of teams across baseball do this. And I'm going to tell you why I hate this approach. Stop putting your eggs in the basket of players coming back from injury when you have zero guarantees that they're going to come back on time. And maybe more important than that they're going to be able to produce at the level you need them to produce. You need Jordan Lawler, Corbin Burns, and Justin Martinez to produce at basically their ceiling as a player to be as impactful as a trade deadline acquisition. You need Justin Martinez to take over the closer role basically overnight. Is that really fair to Justin Martinez? Are those fair expectations to put on him? And Torey Lovullo is going to tell us that those aren't the expectations, but they're going to be if this team doesn't add a meaningful reliever between now and Monday. Corbin Burns is going to be viewed as the savior of this rotation. Fair or unfair? When he comes back in September, do we think this rotation is going to be able to survive another month? I'm not sold on that. And haven't we already gone through this season with A.J. Puck and Corbin Burns? That they already missed the original window when they were supposed to contribute. So there's no guarantee Justin Martinez pitches an inning this season. Gets one out for the Diamondbacks this year. There is zero guarantee that a player that already had a setback this year pitches one outing in the Diamondbacks rotation. Jordan Lawler, injured multiple times this year. No guarantee he can stay healthy for 2 months and then be available to you in the postseason. And I understand the financial restraints that are apparently on this team. But that is not an excuse. It's a point towards 3 guys to be the savior of this team, when that is just setting yourself up for failure.
It is one of those things that we have said so many times on this show. You cannot bank on people coming back from injury, and you saw it this year already. Right? Like, we talked about Corbin Burnes coming back in July. And I'll do it for everybody because we know exactly when he's coming back. And let's be honest, it's not at the end of July. So I don't know when this is going to be. And I think that the timelines for Justin Martinez, for Corbin Burnes, are big question marks. And the number that was pointed out is $6 to $7 million. What you can get for a guy making $6 to $7 million this year is way more than you think.
Right, but if that's the number, and that was the number that was in the tweet, that's one player.
It's one player.
They're getting one player here at the deadline.
And if you ask me, that is a really lame excuse, given what the future of baseball may hold in 2027 and given where this team has gotten you.
Well, not right. I mean, there's the 2027 is so much in doubt, right? And by the way, I think that's the reason why teams are going to go more rental market than they are guys under control for next season. I still think that's going to be the case when we get to Monday and everything's done and we're able to look back at everything that has occurred over the last couple of days. But two, I'm sorry, we are no longer, a week or two ago, maybe even longer than that, we were talking about a team through the lens of, can you get in? Can you sneak in and have a seat at the table, right? That was the conversation 2 or 3 weeks ago. What is the pathway to passing all these teams in front of you, right? Because a couple of weeks ago, it was 4 teams. It was Washington. It was Pittsburgh. It was St. Louis. It was Miami. It was a gauntlet you had to go through to get to the 3rd and final wild card spot. So the lens that we were evaluating this team through was, can you do that? Can you battle through all of those teams to get a seat at the table? That's no longer the conversation. The conversation is now, can you be the 2nd wild card team? The conversation could very easily turn to, can you be the 1st wild card team? We're no longer talking about just barely sneaking into the postseason. We're talking about a team that could very easily compete for the top wild card spot. Could very easily have a firm lock on the 2nd wild card spot. That's now the new reality for this team. They just took 2 of 3 in Pittsburgh. Philly is spiraling after getting swept in Miami. Miami, before that series sweep, had lost 12 in a row. Washington, up and down, up and down. They can't pitch. Pittsburgh, they can't hit.
The Cubs have gone through stretches where they can't buy a win.
St. Louis, all of a sudden, seemingly kind of coming back to what everybody thought they were going to be this season. It's all right there for you. And you're going to deliver to this fan base, a fan base that, let's face it, may not have anything to root for in 2027 because there may not be baseball. You're going to give them one piece, a middle reliever.
I want to be very clear. This would be really disappointing from an owner and a general manager who put together a roster with all these shots in the darks and they worked, and then to not back up those guys that have proved you right at this point is so disappointing. I really can't tell you how much this would upset me if they are not active at the deadline at all.
And I don't want to diminish Justin Martinez and Corbin Burnes and, AJ Puck and Jordan Lawler and any of the guys that they could get back from injury at some point. Is it possible that those guys contribute and help this team get into the postseason? Absolutely.
100%.
They are very talented players. The 3 in particular, Martinez, Burnes, and Lawler, who were pointed out in Gambo's tweet yesterday. Those 3 players are can be impactful if they play to their ceiling. Justin Martinez, Potential closer. I think all-star level closer. Corbin Burns is an ace of your pitching staff. Jordan Lawler, if you just look at what he did at the beginning of the year, was showing all the signs of being somebody that you could stick in the middle of the order for years to come. That's what they can be. But Justin Martinez and Corbin Burns are coming off Tommy John surgery. Corbin Burns already had a setback this season. Do we think it's fair to say, oh yeah, go out there and be an ace?
Not at all.
And maybe he doesn't need to be an ace. Maybe he just needs to be a really good number 3 or number 4. I still think that is too high of an expectation. Jordan Lawler, do we really want to do the thing again where we put an immense amount of pressure on Jordan Lawler? Is that really where we've seen the best from him? No.
We called him up at a time when he was, needed to spark an offense before a playoff race.
In 23.
It didn't work in 23. You called him up last year when you needed a spark in the offense. It didn't work.
2 examples of you trying to use Jordan Lawler in that exact role that you're probably going to try to use him in again.
And it didn't work.
Justin Martinez. I wish I knew the exact date on the show that we said this, but I know we said it at some point during the season. When Justin Martinez comes back, the best thing you can do for him is to put him in low to medium leverage and slowly work him back into the closer's role. Slowly work him back into high leverage. That is the right plan. Throwing a guy coming off of Tommy John surgery right back into the fire, right back into high leverage is a recipe for disaster. Well, that's what it seems like this team may do if they don't go out and make a big swing. Now, I'm not naive. I was very clear in the lead up to this deadline. They're not going to go out and get Tarek Skubal. They're not going to go out and make a ton of big swings. But you're telling me this team can't go out and get a reliever and get a starter and get a bat? They can't do that? They can't get a margin improvement in all 3 of those areas? To me, that would be a failure. To me, that would be a miss. To me, that's putting way too much on the 3 players mentioned in the tweet, asking them to basically be the trade deadline acquisitions. You run a major risk because there are all of the reasons why those 3 guys won't be able to do that this season because of how short the runway is, because they're all coming off of injury, because of the seriousness of all of the injuries, but especially in the case of pitchers coming back from Tommy John surgery, they never look perfect right away. They never look like their former selves right away. You don't have time. You don't have 4 weeks to let Justin Martinez reacclimate himself in high leverage. You don't have that time.
No, not at all.
This isn't May. It's July 30th. Monday, the trade deadline is August 3rd. You just don't have enough time for that. And so we'll see. I said to you today, I don't think this is the case, but it is certainly a possibility that this was leaked to the media as a smokescreen, as a diversion, so that the prices for the Diamondbacks are down. They don't have to overpay for all this, and then they come out and they pleasantly surprise us between now and Monday. You have to understand there's a chess game that's being played here, right? You don't want this stench of desperation to be out there around your deadline plans so that teams overcharge you for these players. So that is potentially a possibility. I'm not sure. I tend to believe the tweet on its face, on its merits, but we'll see. There is still 4 days and then all of Monday for the Diamondbacks to get something done. 480-864-1060 is the phone number if you want to sound off on the Diamondbacks and their trade deadline plans here today on the show. We've also got you over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. When we come back, are the Cardinals due for a bounce back? That's next, the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
Ready to tackle each morning with the best sports information coming at you?
I'm going to take a logical approach.
Get that weekday mornings on KDUS AM 1060 from 6 to 9 a.m. with the Dan Patrick Show. Dan Patrick, the Danettes, sports icons, sports legends, celebrities, poll questions. The Dan Patrick Show has it all.
It's a crapshoot.
Be sure to lock your dials to AM 1060 or 100.7 HD2 from 6 to 9 a.m. Mornings just got better.
This story is about us.
It started with a smell, a weird one, funky, musty, like your gym shoes had a baby with hot queso. Good God. Hey, it's Audrey. And let me guess, you tried it yourself. Big mistake. You left residue, the dirt magnet. It's like putting chapstick on a cactus, just wrong. And in the Valley, if you don't have time for sticky carpets and weird smells and you're too busy surviving the 202 loop, Zero Res can handle it all. With carpets, tile, rugs, upholstery, and basically every surface in your home, they can all be Zero Resified. So it's time to call My Cleaning Pros. They actually just recently helped me with my move out clean and did an amazing job. This month only, get 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at just $129 plus a free hallway and take $100 off your air duct cleaning. Schedule your appointment at ZeroResPhoenix.com or call 480-507-2419 and ask for the KDUS special. Spell it backwards or forwards, it spells the same. Zero Res.
Get ready for a night of rock with the Gene Simmons Band.
You know your man is working hard.
Saturday, August 22nd, 8 p.m. The Salt River Grand Ballroom at Talking Stick Resort. The Gene Simmons Band performing your favorite classic hits. Reserve seats on sale now at Ticketmaster. Don't miss the Gene Simmons Band.
Hi, I'm the VP of Play at Harrah's Auction Casino, and it's time to make your summer shine with Summer Playfest. Now through Labor Day, live music, weekly winners, and one lucky guest takes home a brand new Jeep Rubicon. With Caesars Rewards, you could win your share of more than $700,000 in cash and prizes. Summer Playfest at Harrah's Auction Casino. Play for all. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700 or 1-800-NEXT-STEP. Visit the Caesars Rewards Center for details.
Jim Rome here with your Rome Report. Former NFL QB and CBS analyst Tony Romo had himself a day, didn't he? A bad day with the release of body cam footage of him being arrested for alleged OWI. Look, I am not here to adjudicate anything, although an affidavit says that Romo was pulled over because he allegedly crossed the center line and was weaving, and that he smelled of, quote, intoxicants, and his eyes were bloodshot and glassy, and that he had trouble balancing, and that he refused to submit to the blood test and preliminary breath test. But I am not here to adjudicate anything. Yes, I am. The video of him warming up for the sobriety test like he was at the combine or something. Why are you stretching out to follow a pen with your eyes, dude? Either way, it did not work, as the video shows him bombing that test. Then again, in his defense, listening to him, he really didn't sound that much different to me than he does most Sundays on air. I'm Jim Rome. And remember, you can always follow me on Instagram at Jim Rome.
O'Reilly. Check engine, ABS, or maintenance light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. The service is free and provides a report with solutions verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we could recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
The U.S. Treasury just released its official financial report for 2025. Buried in it is a startling admission. By its own numbers, it appears the U.S. government is insolvent. When governments go this deep in debt, they print money, raise taxes, or cut benefits, none of which can help protect you. That's why people move part of their savings into physical gold and silver. Call Monetary Gold at 877-NOW-GOLD for their complimentary gold and silver guide. That's 877-NOW-GOLD. Call Monetary Gold now at 877-NOW-GOLD. Do it before the next headline, not after. Performance may vary. You should always consult your financial and tax professional.
It's the lunch break with Chris Schubert.
Jacoby Brissett, a rework deal that's going to pay him $15.5 million this year, guaranteed. This is a fine deal for the Arizona Cardinals. There is no such thing in sports as a bad one-year deal. Jacoby Brissett is a guy that is supposed to get them through this one season, help Mike LaFleur get off to a good start, and then he's going to pass that baton. Oh, by the way, the $15.5 million comes in lower than a bunch of other starters. So among starting quarterbacks, it's either at the bottom or it's close to the bottom.
Live Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m.
It is a Take a Note Thursday. We've got that coming up at about 11:45. An update on where things stand on our list, and then whatever else we are adding to our Take a Note Thursday. Cardinals, another day of camp yesterday. Think it seemed like another good day out there for the Cardinals.
It's hard to tell. It's practice.
Yeah.
I mean, the Eagles had their first practice. It was the best day of practice ever.
Those are the reports coming out of camp. Best day of practice ever.
But do you know what I mean? Like, you hear that every year.
Oh, this is the, this guy showed up to camp best shape of his life.
Right? So who knows?
Never means anything.
Yeah.
Never amounts to anything. Guy shows up in the best, because the people that they classify as showing up in the best shape of their life are the players who throughout their career maybe haven't met expectations or haven't reached their potential. And so they say that as, this is the year. This is when the breakout happens. This is when, he finally hits that ceiling, reaches the potential, justifies where he was drafted. Nothing ever comes of that.
Never.
Ever. You brought something up to me in the morning meeting today that was interesting. That is the reason why we're having this conversation about the Cardinals bouncing back, because you have been poring over the Warren Sharp football analysis preview, all 600-plus pages of it.
Correct.
To get ready for football season. You're ready for next Tuesday for the NFL News Dump. You're ready for it to be back.
620 pages. I have read, I would say, it's hard to say I'm reading straight through it because you get like 20 pages on each team. So
Sure.
I've done the Cardinals, I've done the Eagles, I've done the Panthers.
You got to make sure your teams are covered,
yes,
right? You gotta
my
make sure,
3 teams.
Yeah, you got to be covered across the board. And you were, reading about the Cardinals, and you pointed out that there was, I don't want to call it a blurb, but there was a section in the analysis that talked about the injury luck that didn't go the Cardinals' way last season. And I do wonder if there is a conversation to be had that the Cardinals were very unlucky last year in the injury department, and that is partly the reason why things went so sideways. Now, I still think the quarterback play wasn't good enough in the beginning of the season with Kyler. I still think the offensive coordinator wasn't good enough at his job. I don't think the head coach motivated the team the right way. There are more issues than just injuries, but I do think it is a fair point to bring up here before the season starts. They were unlucky in a variety of different ways, injury-wise, that if they get a bounce back in that department, it could see them maybe be a little better than we anticipate for next year.
100%. And in this specific blurb that I read, it was, the why to take the Cardinals over, why to take the Cardinals under. And, you read through it, it's kind of a summary of all the stats and put into a little blurb of why you could take the Cardinals over.
The win total over in Vegas.
Correct, 4.5.
A blurb of here's why you should take the over, here's why you should consider the under. And when discussing the over, this injury talking point came up.
And it was the Cardinals finished 32nd in offensive health last year, meaning health of the players, missing time due to injury, whether that is practice during the week, whether that is specific games, whether that is, anything under the sun has to do with injury. They ranked 32nd. Defensively, they ranked 31st. There was one team worse.
And again, not good to rank 31st and 32nd in this stat.
Not at all. And so as a group, they obviously ranked 32nd. And to be honest with you, it was one of the worst injury lucks of a team in the last 5 years. They kind of pointed that out, that this really broke the other way for the Cardinals. This was a tremendously bad season when it comes to injury luck. And so, yeah, it's hard to look at that and not say, oh my gosh, this really can't repeat itself. Lightning can't strike twice, right?
That's really the takeaway, right? Is I don't know if they're going to all of a sudden bounce back and be the most healthy team in the world because injuries are so fluky. You just don't know. But I do think it is a reasonable assumption to say, boy, it can't be that bad, where our entire running back room is decimated by the midway point of the season, right? Where our starting quarterback goes down for a series of weeks and, Jacoby Brissett has to take over at quarterback, right? Marv misses as much time as he did last season.
Nice Tory line there, a series of weeks.
Listen, when you listen to these coaches long enough, all of a sudden you start to sound like them at times without actually meaning to sound like them. I didn't even realize I had done it until you said it. It can't be as bad as it was last year. And so if you have the right coaching, we still don't know if they do, right? We just don't. We don't get that answer until we see the team play. Although It looks like, it appears in training camp, the Cardinals offense ahead of the defense. Now, is that because the defense stinks, like we're kind of worried about? Or is it Mike LaFleur's just really good at scheming up an offense, and he's going to make every defense look like that this season? You don't know, right? Truth probably somewhere in the middle. We don't know yet if the coaching is there. I think it's going to be better because I don't think it can be worse than it was last year. So if the coaching is better and you just have a little bit of injury luck go your way, instead of being, 31st and 32nd, you're 20th, right? You're still bottom third of the league, but it's a massive improvement. Is that the difference to help the Cardinals win an extra game here or two? To all of a sudden, we think they can win 3 or 4 games. They get some injury luck to go their way. They can win 5 or 6. I mean, that's really what we're talking about here. I'm not here to tell you that the injury luck going the Cardinals' way is what's stopping them from winning 9 or 10 games and being a playoff team. That is not what I am saying. But in terms of being more competitive, in terms of maybe winning a couple more games than we think they could and should, is injury luck the difference? Is injury luck the thing to maybe keep an eye on? And are the Cardinals kind of due for a bounce back in that regard? Just something to keep an eye on. They got decimated by injuries last year as the year moved along.
Yeah, I mean, it was, and when you read it, it just kind of amplifies how bad it was, because you look at some of the, advanced numbers on injuries and comparing them to the rest of the league. I mean, it was wild what they went through and how many times they had guys miss, 4 to 5 games through stretches of the season. I mean, it was crazy.
Right. Having a guy miss a game here and a game there, that's going to happen over the course of a 17-game season, right? But when you have those injuries that are multiple weeks and you have them in bunches, right? The season-ending injuries that stack up in bunches, that's the type of stuff that, your depth gets tested and it exposes you as a GM if you don't have the right depth. But there comes a point where you can't plan for...
You can't plan for that.
You can't plan for a certain amount of injuries. You can plan for some injuries. You can't plan for, I think, the number of injuries that they faced last year. Again, not an excuse for why they played. I think one of a variety of factors. But when looking at reasons why this team may be able to, exceed expectations a little bit, to underpromise and overdeliver, maybe the injury luck going their way is one reason. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. We've also got you over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. I hope everyone's prepared for what I'm about to say. Coming up next, if the Diamondbacks make the playoffs, is Torey Lovello getting a new contract? That's next. The lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
The Dan Patrick Show.
I have no problem with what LeBron James did. At this stage in your career, you can do whatever you want. You want to go to Philadelphia because you have the best chance to win? You've earned that right. Chasing rings. But I don't know if you go, I have a chance to decide where I want to go. Let me go to a worse situation. Who does that? It wasn't for basketball reasons. It was for business reasons. And the business of winning another title is what LeBron is all about.
Weekdays, 6 to 9 a.m. on KDUS AM 1060.
My Chemical Romance, The Black Parade 2026. Live at Chase Field, September 6th, 2026. With special guest, Jimmy Eat World. Get tickets now at livenation.com. For more, visit mychemicalromance.com.
Hi, I'm Tom Shane, third-generation owner at Shane Company. As a family jeweler for almost 100 years, we're known for doing right by our customers. Our legacy of integrity depends on it. We stand behind our engagement rings with our all-inclusive free lifetime warranty. We handpick the most beautiful diamonds, then negotiate for the best price. At Shane Company, we put you first because a friend always has your back. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
You've waited all year for this moment. Make sure you're prepared when you finally draw back. At Shields, we're right there with you. We have the expertise and premium gear hunters need to gain the edge. Right now, till August 2nd, our hunting sale event is on with savings on the best gear. And if you're a Shields Visa card member, you'll earn extra points on every Shields purchase. Gain the edge you're looking for and save this season at Shields.
Del, yeah. Slow-cooked pork carnitas are back at Del Taco. Simmered in authentic spices for hours and loaded into your favorite Del items. Del Taco's carnitas bring that bold flavor you've been craving. They're available in street tacos, loaded fries, a combo burrito, quesadilla, nachos, and even a big fat taco. You can't hurry flavor like this, but you better hurry into Del Taco because they're only here for a limited time. Get your slow-cooked carnitas today, only at Del Taco. Del, yeah.
If you're thinking you have low T, well, then it's time to start for free. For a limited time, get prescription testosterone therapy with no startup fee only at Red Mountain Weight Loss. Hey, just because you're getting older doesn't mean you have to feel older. Prescription testosterone restores your get up and go, so you'll feel like you're 20 again. You'll gain more muscle with less effort in the gym and lose that dad bod for good. You'll also think better, sleep better, and your love life will be better. Look, don't be fooled. Nothing boosts testosterone like actual testosterone. So skip the gimmicks and start enjoying life with prescription testosterone. It's a game changer. Prices start as low as $129 per month. So don't wait. Book your video appointment today and they'll waive the startup fee only at Red Mountain Weight Loss. Go to redmountainweightloss.com or dial pound 250 on your phone, keyword Red Mountain. Red Mountain Weight Loss. Real testosterone. Real doctors. Real results.
Hey listeners, it's Vince Delicio from the Varsity Sports Show. This Saturday, we continue our fall sports previews with a trip over to the home of the 5A defending state football champions, the Desert Mountain Wolves. We'll be joined by an old friend of our program, Coach Conrad Hamilton, and coaches from other sports and players, including our amazing summer team. It's the Varsity Sports Show Desert Mountain Week, Saturday morning at 10 on AM 1060 and the AM 1060 app, KDUS, Arizona.
I know. A lot of you are probably angry at me for asking the question that I asked before the last break. But I think it is a fair one to ask. And I saw it on social media last night. I think this is the second time we've referenced this gentleman on the show, Mr. AZ Sports. Last night he tweeted out, so the D-backs make the playoffs. Torey Lovello gets an extension, ... right? Coach is only under contract for this year at the moment. And I'll give you the short answer. The short answer is if this team goes to the postseason, just buckle yourself up, everybody. You're getting another year. I think you're getting another 2 years of Torey Lovello because I don't think a one-year contract extension is what gets signed if you make the postseason. Torey and his agent are going to demand at least some type of multi-year security. So you're looking at least a 2-year situation where you can see what happens in 2027, see how much baseball you even play, and then you go into 2028 with him as a lame duck once again. But buckle up, everybody, because that's what's going to happen. And you know what, Producer Evan? I'm going to do it. I told you in the morning meeting I was ready to go after some people today. I was fired up. So I'm going to do it. I think that's why many of you don't want to see this team buy and make a run to the postseason. I think selfishly, you know that if this team makes the playoffs, they are not going to get rid of the manager. And so you, and this is a big accusation, I think you're actively rooting against this team. I think you don't want to see them make the playoffs. I think you don't want to see them buy. Code, I'm looking at you. I think this deep down is the reason why you're still on the fence 4 days out from the deadline. Because you know in your heart of hearts, this team makes the postseason, they're not going to have a choice. Torey Lovello deserves, how about that? How about that, Producer Evan? He would deserve a contract extension if this team made a postseason. If this team made the playoffs this year, a 2-year extension is a lock. And I would be fully in agreement that he deserves the extension to navigate everything. An offense that has not been good this season, a pitching staff decimated by underperformance and injuries, a bullpen that's been a patchwork all season long. If he got that team to the playoffs, yeah, you're darn right he deserves an extension. You're darn right he deserves to stick around. And I know that's going to bother a lot of you because you think The grass is greener on the other side. But you're also the same fan who before the season wanted to give up on 2026 before it even began. You didn't think they could be in this spot. You didn't think this was possible, them being a buyer at the deadline. So I think deep down, a lot of you know in your heart of hearts that if this team makes the playoffs, you're going to be confronted with an uncomfortable truth, and that is Torey Lovullo did a good job. You would be uncomfortable with the idea that you would have to admit Torey's going to stick around, and he probably should stick around. And you are unable to confront that reality. And so I think that's why you don't want this team to sell at to buy at the deadline. That's the accusation that I am levying against the fan base today.
Code says it's a wild accusation.
Then defend yourself. Defend yourself.
Here's what I think. While people want him gone, and I'm not going to say that I am not one of those people, because I stand on this, and I've always felt this way. Just because you got to a World Series, you didn't win one. I don't think getting there buys you more than a year or two. I think that's fair to say. And I think for the best organizations in baseball, they probably feel that way. This would be a really nice job. If they make the playoffs this year, he would deserve that extension. And I think people can argue it. But I will tell you this. I think that he is a certain percentage, over a fifth, over 20% to blame of teams not making the playoffs of the last few years. And now he has, because of the mistakes he's made, he has learned some of those lessons. And it's, making sure that you have the tiebreaker over Pittsburgh because they could come down to that. There are things like that he now focuses on that he hadn't in the past because he's learned his lesson. I think that some people and fans of the show, to play devil's advocate and to defend them, would tell you he's done a nice job this year and he deserves that credit. And the minute it was time to pull Paul Sewald from the closer's role, he did so. But in the past, he hasn't done that. The pulling of Paul Sewald is a Torey Lovullo who has learned his lesson from prior years. But it is not a Torey Lovullo from 2 years ago.
I just think it's uncomfortable to accept this as somebody who has wanted to see Torey go. If this team makes the playoffs, it might be his best work as manager. It might be his best work. This might be his best season. With, by the way, all the pressure in the world that he knows he needs to deliver the results or he's probably out of a job at the end of the season. And so that's why I say if this team does get to the postseason, and I'm still of the belief if they miss the playoffs, they move on. But if they make the playoffs, I think he deserves the extension. And I would make it a very easy 2-year deal, right? Because you don't know what 2027 is going to be, even if you play a full season. And again, his side is going to push for at least a little bit of security. A 2-year deal where you see how 2027 goes, and then you're set up with the same situation in 2028.
Can I ask you a question?
Please.
What if they miss it by 2 games?
If they miss the playoffs, I think you can entertain the idea of a change. I think it's easier to entertain the idea of a change. Now, here's what I would say. If they miss the playoffs by 2 games, I would come on this radio show and say they should probably move on. That this is as good as it gets from a standpoint of being able to make a change and having a justification for it to where everybody can maintain good relationships with one another, right?
Yeah.
So I would move on because you missed the playoffs in a year where it was wide open. It's the end of a contract. The results haven't been there since the World Series. Hasn't made the playoffs since. It's been 3 or 4 years. We're gonna make a change, and I would be okay with that. Now, if they miss by 2 games, I think it's closer. I think internally they may think it's a little closer, but I think if they miss the playoffs, you move on. But if he makes the playoffs, whatever they do in the playoffs, if he makes the playoffs, how do you not give him a 2-year extension? There's not a good reason to not. Because what, you're going to point to the results? Because I'm going to point to what he did this season. I'm going to point to a team that's probably going to win, 86 games potentially if they make the playoffs? That's what we're talking about?
No, listen, I understand the argument for it. And By the way, I think that to defend Code, who says defend myself from what? I think reference on being sellers. This team is a buyer. And I think that has changed over the last few weeks. And I think they played a level of baseball coming out of the break that we hadn't seen prior, unless they were playing the Rockies or the Giants. But they have gone through these stretches, so let's see.
And listen, not to just pick on Code, I haven't heard from Brian in a little bit about moving on from Torrey. Haven't heard from Eric for them to move on from Torrey. Haven't heard that. I haven't heard the Torrey slander in a while. I wonder why. Because the results all of a sudden have been there. And all of a sudden you're talking about a team that's got a playoff spot right now. All of a sudden that noise went away. And so I know it's uncomfortable for a lot of you who are done with Torrey and have been done with Torrey. But the results and where this team is heading towards, he's going to get an extension if they make the playoffs. So you got I'm giving you a 2-month head start to prepare yourself for that. This team, this organization, as much as you may want them to, is not going to have a season be as so roller coastery with the injuries and everything that's gone on this year. Still make the playoffs and tell that manager at the end of the contract, you didn't do enough. You didn't get the job done. Because, in fact, it would be exactly the job that he needed to do in order to get an extension.
No, I agree. And he will get that extension. I think he'll get that extension whether this team makes a playoff or not.
You think he's back next year no matter what?
At this point, yeah.
And you would say...
what has this organization shown me in recent years to say that because we were in the race in August, that's not enough to warrant a contract extension?
And when we...
And I think that's a horrible way to look at it. I think it's the way this organization looks at it. I think that making the playoffs would justify this. I think this deal could get done before the playoffs start without knowing that they're making the playoffs, and that would upset me. I'll be very honest. I think that this team is, again, looking at this as we are looking up at the standings in a spot in August and contending, and that would be enough for them to say, okay, we're going to make that deal, and that would really upset me.
Well, what's interesting is that the last time we were in this exact situation, the team got off to such a hot start that it was easy to justify the 1-year extension, and then they went to the World Series and they added 2 more years onto it. We didn't have that chain of events this year.
No.
So it does feel a little weird this late in the process to do an extension before you get to the end. So I do think they're going to wait until the end of the year. And I do think it's going to depend on whether or not they make the playoffs. But if they continue to play the way that they're playing and they continue to win series the way they're winning them and they hold on to a playoff spot and they make the playoffs, I mean, I guess it depends on how it looks in the postseason. If they get completely embarrassed and he makes, multiple blunders and it's a complete mess, maybe they make a change. But
if it's a complete mess, you have to make a change.
But I think just making the postseason is more than likely going to be enough to justify a 2-year extension. And I think anything more than a 2-year extension I would be a little uneasy about. But a 2-year extension to give Torrey a little bit of security, to hedge against what 2027 may or may not be, I think would be an incredibly fair resolution to all of this.
No,
I mean, do you look at this team on paper right now and say, he should have gotten more out of this group? Like, when you look at this team right now, knowing everything that's happened this year, I think he's gotten about as much as he can out of this squad.
No, I tend to agree.
And that's the job of a manager. That is the role of a manager.
I tend to agree that he has gotten as much as he can out of this group.
And maybe even more than probably what he should have gotten out of this group.
No, I agree. And we'll see at the trade deadline, because I think there are questions to be had about Mike Hazen if this trade deadline does not go well.
Well, speaking of that, I have a take a note on that. 480-864-1060 if you want to add a Take a Note to a Take a Note Thursday here on the show. We've also got you over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. And listen, Code, I'm only having fun little back and forth with you because you're our guy. I know you're rooting for the team. I know you want to see them do well. But I do think there is a portion of this fan base that doesn't want to see them do well because they're done with Torrey.
Yeah, and I think we kind of teased Code there.
Yeah.
I don't think he's part of that group.
I think Brian is.
I
think Brian is more.
Listen, I haven't seen Brian in the chat in a couple of days.
Well, because the Diamondbacks have been playing well, so he hasn't had to complain about Torrey.
No, I think that there is a small portion of this fan base that does want that change bad enough. I don't know if there's and I don't know if there's a portion of that fan base that wants it bad enough to root against the team.
No, I don't think they're rooting for them to lose, but I do think they're saying, "Hey, you know what? Don't worry about buying at the deadline. Just let's let the season play out." Because I think they know what that means if they make the playoffs. I do think it's a thought that has crossed some people's minds.
But don't worry, they'll get people back from injury, so it's going to be like they're a buyer.
A Take a Note Thursday when we come back. It's the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
Ready to tackle each morning with the best sports information coming at you?
I'm going to take a logical approach.
Get that weekday mornings on KDUS AM 1060 from 6 to 9 a.m. with the Dan Patrick Show. Dan Patrick, the Danettes, sports icons, sports legends, celebrities, poll questions. The Dan Patrick Show has it all.
It's a crapshoot.
Be sure to lock your dials to AM 1060 or 100.7 HD2 from 6 to 9 a.m. Mornings just got better.
This story is about us.
Stained. Break the Cycle 25th Anniversary Tour. Featuring Seether. Stained. October 13th. Talking Stick Resort Amphitheater. With special guests, Hoobastank and Hinder. Tickets are on sale now at livenation.com. Part of the America First Credit Union Series.
If you're a fan of any sport on the planet, college or pro, then we are right where you want to be. Real sports fans need a sports book powered by Hard Rock Bet. Follow the money line to Twin Arrows and too much fun. Twin Arrows. The best indoor tailgate party in Flagstaff with massive HD screens, cold drinks, game time food specials, and best service is at Arrow Sports Bar. After the game, get back in the game at craps, blackjack, and slots. Now that's too much fun. The place to come when you want to have too much fun. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
Got things you don't need? Goodwill can put them to good use. This summer, donate your gently used items and score a 20% off coupon for your next Goodwill treasure hunt. It's a win for your home, a win for your wallet, and a win for the community because every donation funds local job training and career development programs. Drive up, drop off, done. Goodwill, a nonprofit, makes donating easy and accepts almost anything. Find a convenient drop-off location at goodwillaz.org today.
It's the lunch break with Chris Schubert.
Jacoby Brissett, a rework deal that's going to pay him $15.5 million this year, guaranteed. This is a fine deal for the Arizona Cardinals. There is no such thing in sports as a bad one-year deal. Jacoby Brissett is a guy that is supposed to get them through this one season, help Mike LaFleur get off to a good start, and then he's going to pass that baton. Oh, by the way, the $15.5 million comes in lower than a bunch of other starters. So among starting quarterbacks, it's either at the bottom or it's close to the bottom.
Live Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Back to wrap up hour number one here at the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060. Chris Schubert, producer Evan, hanging out with you here today on the show. It's time for a Take a Note Thursday. Now, producer Evan, I'll give you the Take a Note music here. Anything we can close out?
Let me look here. D-backs will make 4 trades by the deadline. Carson Beck will play half the Hall of Fame game.
You can mark that as an L for me already if you'd like.
Yeah.
Because they are not going to make 4 trades.
I think we can mark that as an L.
Yeah.
I think that's all we got.
All right, I can go first.
Jacoby Brissett will start week 1. Do you want me to give that to you?
I do not. Because I don't want you to give that to me. And then he plays in a preseason game or he hurts himself at a practice and everybody blames me.
What about Corbin Burns will pitch this season?
No, again, I don't want to jinx things. I feel good about both of those. Those feel like they're going to be wins, but I'm not ready to take them yet.
Got it. All right, so you can start yours today.
Take a note. If the Diamondbacks make less than 2 moves before the deadline, they will miss the playoffs.
Less than 2 moves, they will miss the playoffs.
If this team tries to just smoke and mirrors their way into the playoffs because Justin Martinez or Jordan Lawler or a returning Michael Soroka or Ryan Nelson is going to be able to help them, I think that is a recipe for disaster.
Take a note. Building off that, Justin Martinez will not pitch this season.
I mean, what's the timeline, right? End of August?
Yeah.
Middle to end of August? That's so much time to go closer by committee. That's just like,
I'm altering this. Justin Martinez won't get a save this season.
Wow. Can they go closer by committee for that long?
I don't think so.
You know how I feel about closer by committee. I hate it.
It never works.
I hate it. I hate it because no one has a defined role. Every night you roll up to the ballpark, you don't know if it's your time to be in the closer's role. You don't even know during the game if you're going to be the closer. It's all dependent on the matchups of who's going to be up in the ninth inning. A whole game has to play out. So even before the game, it's not like Torrey can bring, Brandon Garcia or Juan Murillo and say, "Hey, you're the closer tonight." You're not going to know until the 7th inning when the phone call comes in.
No.
That is a terrible way, and I'm not blaming Torrey or the Diamondbacks. A bunch of teams in baseball do this from time to time.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work. Relievers need defined roles, and I'll use the modern language, lanes. They need to know exactly what is being asked of them.
Stay in your lane.
So I think doing that for potentially a month is... Now maybe somebody like Garcia or Murillo just take to the role and then Torrey just hands it over to them, and we're only doing this for 2 weeks. But man, I just do not do this for longer than a week or two, man. Find somebody and put them in that role.
Anything else?
You know what? It was just in this moment that I realized that was your take a note. I thought I was still defending my take a note.
No.
That was your take a note about Justin Martinez. But I was such in agreement with you.
Yes.
I emphatically defended it on your behalf.
Correct.
So that means I need to add something. I've always got something, working. And I hold things, I workshop them a little bit before I bring them to take a note. Do I go there today? Because I don't think either of us have something Marvin Harrison Jr. related. Do we? Can you check for me?
Oh, on the sheet?
Yeah, do either of us have...
Nothing.
Because I'm starting to now want to be counter to everybody who's, overreacting to clips of him dropping passes. Are you okay?
I'm good.
You don't have to. You can just hit the drop. You don't have to actually cough to make the sound effect. We've got it.
You can't say that.
I am going to take a note. And this is a pivot from earlier in the offseason. Marvin Harrison Jr. will finish the year with more receiving yards than Michael Wilson.
Wow.
I'm zigging when everybody's zagging. Marv, big season incoming. How about that?
I love that. I have mine. Dalton Varsho will be a Philly. I just got an alert that from John Heyman now. Apparently Dalton Varsho is named after Darren Dalton. So, congratulations, Dalton Varsho. He'll be in the red pinstripes.
It's going to do it for hour number 1. A lot of football in hour number 2, but we start with buy or sell. We'll do it next, the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
It started with a smell, a weird one, funky, musty, like your gym shoes had a baby with hot queso. Good God, hey, it's Audrey. And let me guess, you tried it yourself. Big mistake. You left residue, the dirt magnet. It's like putting chapstick on a cactus, just wrong. And in the Valley, if you don't have time for sticky carpets and weird smells and you're too busy surviving the 202 loop, Zero Res can handle it all. With carpets, tile, rugs, upholstery, and basically every surface in your home, they can all be Zero Resified. So it's time to call My Cleaning Pros. They actually just recently helped me with my move out clean and did an amazing job. This month only, get 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at just $129 plus a free hallway and take $100 off your air duct cleaning. Schedule your appointment at ZeroResPhoenix.com or call 480-507-2419 and ask for the KDUS special. Spell it backwards or forwards, it spells the same. Zero Res.
This ain't pop. This ain't pretty. This is Southern hospitality. The Black Crows, Whiskey Myers, blues-soaked guitars, outlaw swagger. Rock and roll the way it was meant to be. Loud, raw, and real. The Southern Hospitality Tour. The Black Crows. Whiskey Myers. Saturday, August 15th. Mortgage Matchup Center. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com.
Hey, it's Phil Shaver with HomeSmart, and I want to buy your house. I'm a local investor that buys homes for cash all over Maricopa and Pinell County. I buy inherited homes, nice homes, rental homes, homes that are behind on mortgage payments, and I even buy ugly homes that need fixing. Also, are you looking to get closer to market value for your house? As a licensed realtor, I've been able to buy and sell thousands of homes. Since I'm local, you can call me directly on my cell phone, 480-409-9999. Again, that's 480-409-9999. I don't work for a big corporation or hedge fund, so I can only buy 3 to 5 homes per month. There are no fees involved, and you can pick your own close date. The best part is I buy homes as is, so you don't have to worry about doing any repairs. Again, you can call me directly at 480-409-9999, or you can go to my website, gosoldaz.com. That's gosoldaz.com.
For 25 years, Primavera has helped thousands of Arizona students succeed with an accredited world-class education, tuition-free and from home. Don't wait. Enroll today at chooseprimavera.com. That's chooseprimavera.com.
The KDUS AM 1060 app is brought to you by Law Bear Auto Accident Attorneys. Hurry to lawbear.com.
That's lawbear.com. The bear has your back.
Hour number 2 of the lunch break. KDUS AM 1060. Chris Schubert, producer Evan, hanging out with you today on this Take a Note Thursday. Producer Evan, time for a little buy or sell. Hottest sports takes in the Valley. Right here on this program. Can't find them anywhere else.
Do you want to start with the one I've been giving you every day?
Sure.
We will have a trade today.
I mean, this is a bit now at this point, right?
It's becoming a bit.
I mean, I'm so desperate for some trade action that I got excited that Logan O'Hoppe got traded last night.
Logan O'Hoppe's 2024. He was a solid player. I got to tell you, when the Phillies traded O'Hoppe way back when, I was like, we're going to regret that.
That one aged pretty well.
That one aged pretty well.
What? Why are there no trades?
Let me tell you if it aged well.
Well, he was traded for who?
I was going to say, because there was 2 trades that year, both with the Angels.
I just don't remember the trade.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. One of them was... I'm going to look up...
We did this exercise yesterday.
Yeah, but every... okay. So Logan O'Hoppe was for Brandon Marsh, trade up.
That feels like a win for you.
Because I didn't know, can I be honest with you? There was that trade, and then there was Mickey Moniak for Noah Syndergaard. And I didn't know which was which. I didn't know if it was Moniak for Marsh and O'Hoppe for Syndergaard, or if it was switched. It was really two players for two players, but it was done two different transactions.
I know you're not a huge fan of Brandon Marsh these days.
I was turning a corner on Brandon Marsh.
You won that trade.
They won that trade. But Brandon, I don't know if he has a hit since the All-Star break.
Again, I know lately
it's been bad.
You and Brandon Marsh are not on very good terms, but in
He's
general,
had a great year this year. I cannot be upset with Brandon Marsh. That
you won the
averaged
trade.
all the way down to 280, now a 776 OPS. Man, it's been quite the bad stretch here for Brandon, but I'll tell you what he's doing over the last month. In the last 30 games, he's hitting a .196. It's been bad. In the last 15, he's hitting 113. But, I mean, he was great to start the year. Pre-All-Star break, he was fantastic.
this is where you give me another buy or sell.
Oh.
Because I sold that there would be a trade.
Yes, and you didn't have anything else to add on.
Well, I mean, I did, and then you took us down that path, and
you started it.
I don't have anything to add.
You started that path.
I don't think I did. Roll the tape back.
Because we were talking about Logan O'Hoppe.
Right. All I said was I'm so desperate for trade activity. I got excited about the one trade that was made last night. You took us down. He was a former Philly prospect. I didn't bring that up.
Sorry.
You brought us there.
I just thought, well, it came to the point, like, I just thought O'Hoppe was going to be really good.
Right, but look where it's gotten us.
Yes. That's very, very fair.
Not my fault.
Both Michael Wilson and Marvin Harrison Jr. will play a week from today in the Hall of Fame game.
I haven't listened enough to LaFleur to really have a gauge on what he's thinking for the Hall of Fame game. I do know this. He hates 7-on-7. I learned that yesterday. Mike LaFleur, 7-on-7, not real football.
He's right.
What a great take.
He's right.
By our head coach.
LaFleur.
No. We're going to take it nice and slow with everybody. That to me is the approach for the Cardinals.
I think that's fair. Jeremiah Love will at one point this year be used in the return game. Whether that is a punt or a kick return, if they need an explosive play, like whatever. Okay, yeah. Because my thought there, honestly, was... Do you want to hear my thought? You remember when the Chiefs, like, if they needed a big return, they would throw Hill back there? He wasn't the everyday returner, but he was... All right, you're done with this? So you're not done with it. See, now you've hit the buzzer too much. Now it's confusing because I asked you if you're done with this, but then you hit the done buzzer. There it is. See, now we're communicating. You see this?
You're wrong. You're mistaken.
Allegedly.
No, they're not going to use him in the return.
No, I agree. But
although he didn't pick up a blitz in coverage yesterday, and then he got Tyler Algier replaced him with the ones.
Yes. Well, that's Nathaniel Hackett's dream. Is to use Algier and Connor.
Well, I mean, because Jeremiah Love is just a rookie, so.
He's exactly. Couldn't have said it better myself. He's just a rookie. The Cardinals will flip their luck in the injury department and be in the top 10 of injured teams. Or at least injured teams. However you want to phrase that. They won't be, in the bottom 12.
They won't be, I don't think they'll be last or close to the bottom, but top 10, that's a huge jump in the other direction, right?
Yeah, it would have to be a huge swing.
And they do have some players who are injury prone, and so that on the surface makes it harder. But, I mean, injuries are so fluky. I mean, you just, unless you're, San Francisco and you practice near a electrical substation.
Which is a problem.
Well, it's not a problem.
You don't believe that?
No, I do not believe in that conspiracy. I think it's fun to bring up.
I kind of believe in it. Like, they have so many soft tissue issues.
I mean, we'll do anything to excuse the poor performance from Kyle Shanahan over the last couple of years, won't we?
What do you mean poor?
I mean, they just haven't played that great. They lose big games all the time.
They won a playoff game last year.
They lose big games all the time.
Yeah, but they all, that's, over the last few years, Kyle Shanahan's been doing that for 2 decades. Like, what are we talking about? Kyle Shanahan loses every big game. It's always been the Kyle Shanahan show.
He's blown 3 Super Bowls with double-digit leads at the half.
And you know what?
And everybody made excuses for him for 10 years.
And we don't talk about it. We talk about the electrical substation.
I've been saying this for so long, and now nobody wants to believe me. And then you have guys like, never mind, I'm done. But I got to tell you, in the Super Bowl, I actually did kind of feel bad because I think I put this out in the world. So we went to this event. We were at some kind of watch party, the second Niners-Chiefs Super Bowl, and Dre Greenlaw was like bouncing around on the sidelines in the first quarter. And I literally said at our table, I was like, if he keeps doing that, he's going to tear his Achilles. Sure enough. Or his Achilles.
It's your fault.
I don't want to say I would call it the electrical substation, obviously.
Move on, please.
You didn't like that?
No.
I do think that there's some merit there.
Didn't they look into it?
Yeah, but who knows, actually?
I mean, they looked into it. I don't think they were able to determine a...
By the way...
But just to be clear, not a scientist, wouldn't even know how you'd begin to investigate how that would work.
By the way, 18 outs in Minnesota, and nobody for the Twins has reached first base via a hit.
Who's pitching for the Royals?
For the Royals, it is...
Seth Lugo?
No, it is...
Just trying to think where they are in their rotation.
Give me 1 second. I gotta pull this up because I'm on MLB. And
my guy brings me that there's 18 outs, and then I ask a very simple question of who's pitching, and he doesn't have that information ready.
Yeah, 100% that's bad. Cameron.
Noah Cameron?
Noah Cameron.
Okay.
Noah Cameron.
How many pitches?
That is a great question. Let me go back. I have so many questions. Yes, you do. Quite a few. Noah has... This has been quite the saga. Yes, it has been. He has 72 in going out there for the 7th.
So we got a chance.
72's not a lot.
We got to have a quick inning.
Yeah, you just need one.
We need to be under 90 at the end of this inning. Because if we're under 90, we'll go out there for the 8th.
And if we're under, I think if we're at 100 or under.
Well, no, I just think if we're under 90, we'll go out there for the 8th.
And then they'll give him the 9th.
And then if we get through the 8th, he'll at least get to start the 9th. So that's how you have to. That's how you have to do it.
Yep, that's how you have to do it. But anyway, we got to watch here in Minnesota.
Our guy Coach, speaking of baseball, says, feels like Monday is setting up to be like when the department stores open on Black Friday. MLB teams scrambling in pure trade deadline chaos. Yeah, that's what it's feeling like.
Yeah, no, 100%. 100%. I bet you were a huge Black Friday guy.
Didn't we talk about this earlier in the week?
Yeah.
Where I said that's what this is starting to feel like?
Yeah. Code backing you up on that.
Thank you, Code.
Were you a Black Friday shopping guy?
Not really. A couple times.
Okay.
I would get up early if there was something that I really wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I can remember when the Nintendo Wii came out. That was a big thing on Black Friday.
Yeah. That was awesome.
Trying to run around the mall.
The Wii was crazy.
And again, we talked about this earlier in the week, but you aren't old enough to have really
remember like the going to the store and running.
It's the weirdest phenomenon in the world. And the only other thing I can compare it to is when you're in Vegas. Time is a construct. Because it's 4:30 in the morning, 5 o'clock, and you're shopping, and the inside of my local mall looked like it was the middle of the afternoon on a Saturday. I mean, the entire food court is open. You could get, Sbarro's pizza. I mean, it was...
Sbarro's underrated.
I mean, it was just everything was open at 5:30 in the morning like it was 12 o'clock on a Saturday. Like in Vegas, everything time is a construct. You don't know what time it is ever when you're in Vegas. There was a moment when I was on vacation, and I was in Vegas. You texted me about something. I looked at my phone, and I was like, oh my gosh, he's got the show today. Like, I had no idea what day it was, what time it was, nothing. That's how off the grid I can be when I'm in Vegas. The only other thing I can compare it to. That's what I think Monday is gearing up to be.
When you go to Vegas, you're there for multiple days. Like, at least for Black Friday, it's one day.
It's one day. Yeah, for Vegas, I was there for a week. You don't know. You don't know what day it is.
And you're also playing poker.
I'm sitting at a table where there's...
You can't find a clock, and you can't look at your phone.
I have a clock in front of me that tells me, like, how long each level is in the tournament we're playing.
Yeah.
And I have my phone in front of me, like, to play music.
Yeah.
But I'm not, like, actively looking at what time it is.
So you are allowed to listen to music and stuff?
Oh, yeah. I have my headphones on all the time when I play.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was allowed.
Yeah, you can't just be actively on your phone while you're in the middle of a hand. Like, when you have cards in front of you, you can't be on your phone taking a phone call, texting.
Yeah.
But if I, like, folded my hand, I can sit there and I can shoot off a text or change the song or whatever.
Got it. Okay, cool. Yeah, I didn't know that. I guess because I've never played poker at a casino.
Yeah, so when you're playing with your buddies, the rules are, rules are optional, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
So what you're saying is I should turn on this Twins game?
Yes, you should turn on this Twins game. Back to buy or sell.
Okay.
Which was the original point of this segment.
Yes.
So we will get back to the... Don't be sorry.
Oh, future Philly Lane Thomas is up right now.
I would love future Philly Lane Thomas. Future Philly Mike Trout.
I'm sorry, that's not going to happen.
Oh my gosh, on my freshman year fridge, which has been passed down, there was a sticker written on it that says Bryce Harper is a Philly, Mike Trout will be. Because
still waiting.
We were there when they signed Harper.
You're still waiting like that 76ers Twitter account about is LeBron a 76er yet? You see that Twitter account?
But he is. He was right. You're never wrong.
Never wrong, just early.
Yes.
I always say never wrong, just early.
Just early, yes. Never wrong, just early. That's where I stand on that. So I feel pretty good. Both feet on the ground, stand by what I say. All right, last one for you. Are you ready?
Sure.
Carson Beck won't start more than 4 games for the Cardinals.
Carson Beck. Was that a drop or was that you actually coughing?
That was me actually coughing.
Okay, I honestly wasn't sure because it sounded just like that. I wasn't sure if that was...
It's me trying to suppress the
Turn the microphone off. You were in control of all the buttons over there.
I know I can, but sometimes I don't even feel like coming.
And you would think after that, you would be a little bit more...
I would be better.
Be more mindful.
Yes. I got a question.
Okay. Apparently not. No. Carson Beck... Sorry, give me the take one more time. I think
Less than 4
No,
games.
I'm selling.
4.5. Here's my thought. With what I've heard from camp, which is, and I don't mean this to be bad, nothing truly positive yet.
He looked okay yesterday towards the back end of practice from what I saw on social media.
Okay.
It's the last couple of minutes of practice. Like, let's calm down a little bit.
Anything too positive, and if it gets bad.
At the end of the day, let me see what he looks like in a preseason.
In a preseason game. So that's where we're at. That's all I got for you.
There you have it. Buy or sell here today on a Tuesday. Excuse me, Thursday. It's not Tuesday. It's a taken note Thursday. My bad. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. Also got you over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. When we come back, Baker Mayfield. Any chance he's done in Tampa? That's next. The lunch break. KDUS AM 1060.
The Dan Patrick Show.
I have no problem with what LeBron James did. At this stage in your career, you can do whatever you want. You want to go to Philadelphia because you have the best chance to win? You've earned that right. Chasing rings. But I don't know if you go, I have a chance to decide where I want to go. Let me go to a worse situation. Who does that? It wasn't for basketball reasons. It was for business reasons. And the business of winning another title is what LeBron is all about.
Weekdays, 6 to 9 a.m. on KDUS AM 1060.
I'm Matt Morgan of Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. I've had the privilege of seeing miracles, broken families rebuilt, every crash, every workplace injury, every medical mistake. Fighting back can work. We've gone toe-to-toe with insurance giants, and we've won a lot. Over $30 billion recovered. Size matters. Reputation matters. Results matter. There's only one Morgan & Morgan.
Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com. Arizona lawyer will handle Arizona cases. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
John Mellencamp. Dancing Words Tour, the greatest hits. August 9th. Talking Stick Resort Amphitheater. Tickets are on sale now. At LiveNation.com. John Mellencamp. Part of the America First Credit Union Concert Series.
Hey, basketball fans, Tom Chambers here reminding you that just like in a game, you need a solid defense for your home. And that starts with a reliable roof from Right Way Roofing. Hey, Lori, as owner of Right Way Roofing, what sets you apart from the competition?
Our team tackles any roofing challenge from shingles to tile to foam roofing. We'll make sure your roof wins against the toughest opponents, rain, wind, and even those scorching summer days.
Make Right Way Roofing your MVP.
We're Right Way Roofing and we do it right. We'll always keep you watertight.
With a Global Credit Card, you earn reward points for every purchase. Use your rewards at checkout at many of your favorite stores, or use points instead of cash when you shop online. You can even use them to book a flight up to 3 days in advance. New York, Vegas, Albuquerque. From groceries to getaways, redeem your way. Apply for your Global Credit Card now at globalcu.org. Global Credit Union, your world of financial possibilities.
I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. The biggest question heading into the trade deadline remains the future of Tigers ace Tarek Skubal. Based on how Detroit finished last season, you can see why the Tigers may want to hold on to him, especially when you look at the state of the American League. Hope, however, can be expensive. Skubal's scheduled to reach free agency after the season, and history has shown just how dangerous it can be to hold on to a superstar without a long-term agreement. Just ask the Angels. They chose to keep Shohei Ohtani through the trade deadline, chased a playoff berth, and ultimately watched one of the greatest players in history leave for nothing. Detroit's situation isn't identical, but the lesson still applies. If there's real doubt Skubal will re-sign, the front office in Detroit has to think beyond the next 2 months. Trading a top 10 player is never easy, but losing a top 10 player for nothing is even harder. I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. These days, everybody's searching for ways to save on insurance. Scrolling comparison sites, digging through tips, chasing deals. But Liberty Mutual makes it simple. Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance to save you money. And when you bundle, those savings really start to come through. It's insurance built for real people with a team that helps you keep what matters most, money. No hassle, just confidence that your coverage is customized with savings in mind. Get a quote at libertymutual.com or with your local independent agent.
High-quality meat, unbeatable freshness, and family-style commitment to care. It's the Heartland difference. Heartland Steak Co. is your go-to source for premium Midwest meats, delivered straight to your door, including hand-cut selections of USDA Prime and Choice beef. Go to heartlandsteakco.com. Now through August 5th, use promo code BURGERS and get 2 free 4-count packages of premium steak burgers with orders over $149.99. Heartland Steak Co., your one-stop shop for straight-to-your-door Midwest meat. Taste the Heartland difference at heartlandsteakco.com.
Hey listeners, it's Vince Delicio from the Varsity Sports Show. This Saturday, we continue our fall sports previews with a trip over to the home of the 5A defending state football champions, the Desert Mountain Wolves. We'll be joined by an old friend of our program, Coach Conrad Hamilton, and coaches from other sports and players, including our amazing summer team. It's the Varsity Sports Show Desert Mountain Week, Saturday morning at 10 on AM 1060 and the AM 1060 app, KDUS Arizona.
Well, there's a situation potentially brewing in Tampa. The temperature getting warm down there. It also might be getting warm under the seat of a couple of executives because Baker Mayfield does not have a new contract. He did show up to the beginning of training camp. He is participating with the team in camp, but he is not happy that he does not have a brand new deal. And he said as much today, saying that he feels disrespected by the fact that his self-imposed deadline either has passed already or it's getting close to passing, and there has not been any ground made up on him getting a brand new extension in Tampa. And anytime you have a player who shows even the slightest hint of being disgruntled, everybody runs to their favorite social media platform
and tells you every reason why their team should be the team that goes out and gets said player, despite years and years of history telling us that most of the time these things sort themselves out and these players ultimately sign with their team. They get the new extension, and we did this all for nothing. That did not stop everybody over the last couple of days for starting to discuss whether or not Baker Mayfield will make sense for their team. And trust me, it happened here, a debate of whether or not the Cardinals should trade a first-round pick to go out and get Baker Mayfield. Let me just stop everybody right now. Baker Mayfield isn't going anywhere. Let me stop you before you call me and you say, but Chris, did you hear him today? See how angry he was, how frustrated he was? This is the same quarterback who used Steve Wilks as motivation when he played the Jets because Steve Wilks, quote unquote, cut him when he was a Panther. Baker Mayfield is a quarterback that will look for any reason to motivate himself. So while, yes, I believe he is frustrated, while, yes, I believe he is disappointed, yes, I feel that he partially thinks he's disrespected, at the end of the day, he's probably playing this up a little bit. He's going to use it as motivation, and I have zero evidence that has been presented to me to tell me that Baker Mayfield is going anywhere else. Zero reason to think that Baker is going to play anywhere else, either this season or the season after that. Why would Tampa do that? Why would Tampa not just pay Baker? Do they really think they can do better? Do they really want to run the risk of being back in quarterback purgatory where they were pre-Tom Brady? It's not a good place to be as a franchise. Now, I understand why all of these teams and their fans are intrigued by the idea of getting Baker Mayfield. I understand why there are people out there. Our good friend of the show, Ben Garcia, was suggesting that the Cardinals should trade a first-round pick to go get Baker Mayfield. I understand why that is a position somebody would take, why that is a take that exists. I'm just here to tell you, not happening. Baker's not going anywhere. He's not actually available. So I don't care that he's disgruntled. I don't care that he's unhappy.
Imagine him in Minnesota.
He's not going to Minnesota. He's not going to go play with Justin Jefferson. He's going to stay right in Tampa.
Jettas would have 2,000 yards.
He's not going anywhere. He's going to stay.
I mean, so many good fits.
He's going to stay in Tampa. He's going to get a brand new contract. He's going to get a raise, an extension, and we're going to laugh that we even brought this up.
They wouldn't trade him in division, but you imagine Atlanta's got to pick up the phone.
So you're just being these people on social media, right?
Cleveland. There it is. He screams Steeler. Cleveland wants him back.
He could pull a LeBron. He could return home. Deliver Cleveland a football championship.
What if Denver? I mean, hasn't the coach insulted Bo Nix enough?
Did you not listen to anything that I just said?
Bo Nix for Baker.
I just said he's not going anywhere. I just said don't do this. And you in that time have now listed off 5 different destinations. You got anything else over there?
No, I think those are
the 5.
Yeah.
Cardinals, you don't want to bring up the Cardinals?
Oh, well, obviously the Cardinals are a great fit.
The Jets, the Dolphins.
If you imagine getting him in the building. No, the Dolphins, the Finns just paid Malik Willis, and he would never go. The Jets, if you go to the Jets, man, I would love that for my guy Garrett Wilson. I've been waiting for the Garrett Wilson 1,500-yard season since the dawn of time. He's going to have one. You started to, okay, side note, we were having this conversation the other day, me and a buddy of mine. You start a team today, would you rather have Garrett Wilson or Chris Olave?
Garrett Wilson.
I think so, too.
Chris Olave is just too hurt.
That's what I think, too.
And Garrett Wilson has been put up a 1,000-yard receiver with some of the worst quarterback play I've ever seen.
That's what I said. That's what I said. But tons of fits there for Baker. Imagine what he would do as a Jet.
What he would do as an Indianapolis Colt. Oh, could you imagine?
Yeah, but they just paid Danny Dimes all that money. And just so you know, by the way, I'll get out in front of this. When Colin Cowherd tells the world that he's destined to be a Ram later this week, because, by the way, we'll go over quarterbacks. This is my favorite segment they do on the Herd. Quarterbacks that have once Colin said they were going to be a Ram. Burrow, Allen, Lamar, and Baker will be added this week.
He's not going anywhere. Please do not overreact to this story. He's going to stay in Tampa.
A Minnesota Viking.
But I just love how we haven't learned. We haven't learned. Lamar Jackson was going to be traded to about 12 different franchises a couple of years ago when he had his contract dispute with Baltimore. Who's he played for since then? Baltimore.
But I will tell you, I think the recent, specifically the Micah Parsons situation, although I know it's not a quarterback, has changed people to believe that maybe this won't be worked out.
Really? I got a question for you. Where's Max Crosby playing this season?
Max Crosby. Now, in fairness,
no. Where's he playing this season?
He's going to be a Raider.
That's right.
In fairness, they traded him.
Trey Hendrickson. After all that, where'd he go? Stayed with Cincinnati till he became a free agent.
Now, Trey Hendrickson just got a raise, so a little different.
But he signed. But when he went to free agency, he signed with a different team. He wanted out.
Yes, he did leave eventually.
But in free agency, he wasn't traded. That's the point I'm making.
And then the other one is Max Crosby was traded. He just failed the physical.
Okay, he is staying.
The Ravens then just realized, we've made a bad mistake here and given up way too much, and so they found a way to back out of it.
There are countless examples of star players. Now, there are examples, right? Khalil Mack ultimately got traded,
yes,
right?
Khalil Mack. Micah Parsons.
Micah Parsons is, I think, the most recent example of this. But just in general, these players don't move. They just don't.
T.O. 4 times.
Okay.
A.J. Brown.
Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? Still waiting for Brandon Ayuk to be a Commander. Still waiting for him to no longer be a San Francisco 49er.
It is so funny. The world is so predictable, right? Because anytime a big defensive lineman or quarterback becomes available, for trade, they're a Ram. They have to be a Ram. That's just the way the world works. It's how are the Rams going to pull this off? Because they'll trade picks. And then anytime, Vita Vea, he's going to a California team, he's a Ram. He's a Ram. And pair him with Aaron Donald, he's book it. That's what the world says. And with receivers recently, it's been their Commander. You got to pair somebody with Jaden. So every receiver that comes up, there's two teams. They're either a Buffalo Bill or a Commander until they re-sign.
We have so many examples of us talking about it, and then they just sign a new contract, and then everything's okay.
Baker is a Cardinal. We would have jerseys. We'd come in here. What color jersey would you get? You'd get the desert one, wouldn't you?
The one that I still need to get for Jeremiah Love since he was drafted by the Cardinals.
Oh, yeah.
I still haven't bought it yet.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you could have got away with that.
I did say that if they drafted him number 3 overall, I would get a jersey, and I will get that jersey because that'll be a fun jersey to wear.
Yeah, no, and he's going to be exciting.
Right,
he's going to be good.
That's going to be a jersey.
I know he's a rookie right now, but he's going to be good.
480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. We've also got you over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. We've heard from our guy Brian, who says, greetings from Sorsby Island. We're home to people with contrary but correct takes. Yep, we have a whole suburb full of people rooting against the Diamondbacks. I'm the mayor. We need change. So we've heard from Brian today.
He said Sorsby Island?
Meaning Brandon Sorsby, yeah. Because if you remember, Brian was somebody who thought...
who defended the game.
Who said that Sorsby should not have been suspended. Should have been able to play. So he's the mayor of this.
Code, I'm assuming those are Baker's, 9-8, 10-7, 8-9.
The last 3 years? That sounds about right.
That sounds about right. I do have to say, he played hurt last year. And the guy wins playoff games. I'm sorry. Everybody wants Herbert. Herbert's never won a playoff game.
Do not mistake do not mistake me saying that he's not going to go anywhere to saying he's not a good quarterback. I would love Baker Mayfield to be the quarterback of my team. But we just know how this goes. They're going to get a new deal done because Tampa does not want to. If this was a non-quarterback, maybe. Like Vita Vea may move on. They may trade him. I don't think they will, but they might. Quarterback, the grass is not greener on the other side. We know this. We know how hard it is to find a quarterback. They found their guy. They're going to keep their guy. 480-864-1060, the phone number. We've also got you on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. When we come back, does Mike LaFleur need to get back to the basics? That's next, the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
Ready to tackle each morning with the best sports information coming at you?
I'm going to take a logical approach.
Get that weekday mornings on KDUS AM 1060 from 6 to 9 a.m. with the Dan Patrick Show. Dan Patrick, the Danettes, sports icons, sports legends, celebrities, poll questions. The Dan Patrick Show has it all.
It's a crapshoot.
Be sure to lock your dials to AM 1060 or 100.7 HD2 from 6 to 9 a.m. Mornings just got better.
This story is about us.
The Gorillas, live in Phoenix. The Mountain Tour 2026. Performing at Mortgage Matchup Center, Friday, October 23rd. With special guests, Little Sims and Deltron 3030. Get ready to feel good all over again. The new album, The Mountain, is out now. Get tickets now at livenation.com.
It's time to talk Grizzly.
The air conditioner made specifically for Arizona summers.
Alaskan AC introduced the Grizzly a couple years ago, and the reviews are pouring in.
This one says, I love how quiet it is. I can hardly hear it come on, but I'm always comfortable.
Another person writes, finally an air conditioner that can withstand the desert heat and dust.
This one says, I like its fluffy fur and cute black nose.
Anyway, if it's time to upgrade your AC, you can't do better than the Grizzly.
Only available at Alaskan AC.
People love it.
Like this person who said, we live in an older home and the Grizzly keeps us comfortable in every room.
Or this guy, we live just outside of town and the dust is horrible. Glad we have an AC that can take it.
Or this one, he's so cuddly and has these adorable pads on his paws.
Gary, I think you're on a different webpage.
Gary, I think you're different.
Learn more about the Grizzly at alaskanac.com.
Your local Arizona Lottery retailer is full of new and exciting possibilities because draw games just got an upgrade with more prizes, more drawings, and more chances to win. Your favorite draw games like Powerball, The Pick, and Pick 3 are now better than ever. Games start at just $1, so you don't have to pick one. You can play all 4 new and improved draw games today, including the brand new Pick 4 game. Play today at a retailer near you. Arizona Lottery. Love the play.
Your dental health affects your whole body's wellness. Got a broken tooth or need a crown? At Arizona Crown Center, you can expect care focused on crowns and bridges for just $6.99 per tooth, including your x-ray. That's less than half the usual cost. With Arizona Crown Center, expect top quality, efficient treatment backed by a 3-year unconditional guarantee, and even same-day service. They keep it simple and affordable, so you can enjoy the foods you love without worry. Plus, their friendly team makes every visit comfortable and easy. Whether it's your first crown or replacing an old one, they personalize your care to fit you. That's something to really smile about. Don't live with discomfort. Visit azcrowncenter.com for your free consultation today. Serving the Valley for over 20 years with offices in Chandler, Surprise, and Prescott. Get premium dental crowns and bridges at a price that fits your budget. azcrowncenter.com. That's azcrowncenter.com. Your smile's best friend.
When your auto insurance shows up, every call, every claim, every day, that's a win. J.D. Power has ranked AAA #1 for auto insurance customer satisfaction in the Southwest 2 years running. Get a quote at AAA.com/quote. Visit JDPower.com for details.
For 25 years, Primavera has helped thousands of Arizona students succeed with an accredited world-class education, tuition-free and from home. Don't wait. Enroll today at ChoosePrimavera.com. That's ChoosePrimavera.com.
It's the lunch break with Chris Schubert.
Jacoby Brissett, a rework deal that's going to pay him $15.5 million this year, guaranteed. This is a fine deal for the Arizona Cardinals. There is no such thing in sports as a bad one-year deal. Jacoby Brissett is a guy that is supposed to get them through this one season, help Mike LaFleur get off to a good start, and then he's going to pass that baton. Oh, by the way, the $15.5 million comes in lower than a bunch of other starters. So among starting quarterbacks, it's either at the bottom or it's close to the bottom.
Live Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Back here on the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060. Make sure you download the free KDUS AM 1060 app so you can take us with you on the go. Producer Evan, we were talking in hour number 1 of the program. You have been looking through the Warren Sharp football analysis, all 600 pages of it, the preview for the upcoming season. And you've seen a couple of things that you put on my radar as potential topics for the show. And one of the things we talked about in hour number 1 was how poorly the Cardinals were in terms of injury luck. But one of the other things you extrapolated from reading this 20-page deep dive into the Cardinals is how keep it simple, stupid might be the philosophy for the Cardinals this upcoming season, getting back to playing a run-first mentality, running the football.
Yeah, exactly. And I have those numbers pulled up here on my computer. I tried to send a PDF to this computer, but I wasn't able to.
Oh, no. Technology not on your side there?
Not on my side this morning, so I just have it here.
Well, I did see you deal with technology when you tried to call UPS to move a delivery, and you were talking to a robot, and it didn't go well on the other end, and they just hung up on you. The automated system hung up on you.
I did end up getting the call back.
No, I know, but you hung up on the robot hung up on you.
The robot hung up on me. It was a little ridiculous.
It was troubling.
But I'll read exactly where they finished in run game comparison.
Okay.
Because in 2024, this was one of the best rushing attacks in all of football. In fact, in explosive runs, believe it or not, and all of the talk there was Saquon and the big runs that got him over 2,000s, but the Cardinals were actually the number 1 team with 12% of their runs being considered explosive, which is, I believe, 11 yards or more, right? It's more than a first down. They were also just a top 6 run team in all of football. They were one of the best rushing attacks in all of football. And that took a major hit last year.
And this is 24?
This is in 2024, yes.
2024, okay.
In 2025, they were a completely different rushing team.
They got super hurt in the running department.
Super hurt, not only on in the running back room, but on the offensive line, and it showed. Because as a running team, they were 24th in all of rushing attack. And from that explosive stance, they were one of the worst teams in football. They were in the bottom 6, 26 from an explosive run standpoint. So that's the huge hit. From a team rushing efficiency, they just weren't the same team. They weren't first in yards after contact like they were the year before. They weren't second in yards before contact. In 2024, they were 5.3 yards before contact.
So basically halfway to a first down before a defender was even contacted.
They were second in all of football. Last year, they were 16th.
Yeah, I mean, look, you're reading me all these stats, and the two thoughts that immediately popped into my mind, one, this is what the team was missing last year, and in general under Jonathan Gannon, is that they just didn't have enough explosives. And this was the complaint against Petzing, right? They just weren't creating enough of those big plays, and every week we would have that conversation of how do they do that. Number 2, this is why they draft Jeremiah Love.
And it doesn't stop
this
there.
Is why,
this is why they draft. Because the other stat here is they went from second in yards after contact per rush to 17th last year. So they had a drop off not only from the offensive line in their ability to get to get yards before contact, but after contact they weren't as efficient either. So really, this run game took a huge step back. And an EPA per play, it showed. I mean, they were one of the best teams in football running the ball in 2024. They were 9th, And last year, they were 21st, one of the worst.
And by the way, if you'll remember when we were talking about Mike LaFleur as a potential candidate when the Cardinals were still going through their very lengthy process, if you'll remember, it was a long one to ultimately get to Mike LaFleur. What did we tell you? He was kind of the architect behind the Rams rushing revolution that they had, right? Changing up their running game a little bit. He was the guy behind that. I don't think it's an accident that that guy probably jumped up and down on the table to campaign for Jeremiah Love to be the number 3 overall pick. I don't think it's a coincidence. I don't think it's on accident. He knows we got to run the football. We got to be able to control the tempo. We've got to win the trench game against an opponent's defensive line. We want to win football games. We got to win the time of possession. We got to limit the amount of time the other team has the football. How do you do that? A really good running game. How do you do that? Explosive plays to keep drives going or to have the big back-breaking run to extend a drive or to score a touchdown to pad your lead. It's clear what they are trying to do. It is clear to me what Mike LaFleur's goals are for this season. The big question, do they have enough talent on that side of the ball? Is he a good enough coach to execute on those goals? Because I like a lot what I'm seeing. I like what the vision is. Those numbers tell you what the path is. Go back to basics. How do you win football? Defense, running game. That's it.
And I think to flip side that and take a look at what Mike LaFleur's offense did, I know this is the Rams, and it looks very different than it does for the Cardinals, but they were first in EPA per play. They were first in success rate. They were best team in early down run success. They were 5th in yards before contact. They were 22nd in yards after contact. So they were as efficient running the ball as anybody in football. They were the best efficient run team, and they weren't getting the yards after contact. They were 9th in explosive rushes. This is why you make this change. This team in the Rams last year, and again, I know what the Rams are compared to what the Cardinals are. I'm not making that argument. I'm just saying in yards after contact, they were a bottom 10 team in football, and yet they were still the best running team in EPA per play. I'm a huge nerd.
I mean,
sorry.
Poking fun at you a little bit, but no, the numbers are the numbers. You know we love the numbers here on this show, and it tells a story. It paints a picture. That's what the Cardinals need to do this year. And this is why we wanted there to be such an emphasis on the offensive line and free agency in the draft, right? Because we know that before they got Jeremiah Love, before they even got Tyler Algier, we knew they had talent in the running back room. They've got even stronger in that department. Even stronger in terms of being able to run the football. Can the offensive line hold up? Can they be in enough games competitively to be able to consistently try to run the football? Those are all the questions that still need to be answered. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. We've also got you over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. When we come back, all the stories we didn't get to here today on the show, we call them the leftovers. We'll get to them next. A lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
The Dan Patrick Show.
I have no problem with what LeBron James did. At this stage in your career, you can do whatever you want. You want to go to Philadelphia because you have the best chance to win? You've earned that right. Chasing rings. But I don't know if you go, I have a chance to decide where I want to go. Let me go to a worse situation. Who does that? It wasn't for basketball reasons. It was for business reasons. And the business of winning another title is what LeBron is all about.
Weekdays, 6 to 9 a.m. on KDUS AM 1060.
The Smashing Pumpkins return. The Rats in a Cage Tour. 2 unique sets celebrating melancholy at 30 and nearly 4 decades of unruly hits and dark treasures. November 11th, Mortgage Matchup Center. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com. The Smashing Pumpkins. The Rats in a Cage Tour. Live.
It's Halloween time at the Disneyland Resort, and Minnie's begun to brew up delights and spine-tingling fun. The cauldron bubbling with mystical flair, summoning spirits that haunt the air. Watch as a giant Mickey pumpkin, a headless horseman, and happy Hans have a ball. Cars Land becomes Radiator Screams. Plus, there are seasonal favorites like Guardians of the Galaxy, Monsters After Dark, and Haunted Mansion Holiday. With tricks and treats at every corner to be seen. Frightful fun for the whole family at the happiest Halloween. Halloween time, August 21st through October 31st. Visit Disneyland.com or contact your travel advisor for important details.
Orthopedic care. At Abrazo Health, we believe these two words are better together. When joint pain postpones a walk with friends or halts a weekend hike, recruit our orthopedic physicians, surgeons, and physical therapists to join your team. From our minimally invasive advanced technology designed to improve patient outcome to our comprehensive rehabilitation program, start your journey to a pain-free life. Find your partner in care at abrazohealth.com/orthopedics.
Hey listeners, it's Vince Delicio from the Varsity Sports Show. This Saturday, we continue our fall sports previews with a trip over to the home of the 5A defending state football champions, the Desert Mountain Wolves. We'll be joined by an old friend of our program, Coach Conrad Hamilton, and coaches from other sports and players, including our amazing summer team. It's the Varsity Sports Show, Desert Mountain Week, Saturday morning at 10 on AM 1060 and the AM 1060 app, KDUS Arizona.
Wrapping up today's edition of the show. Another 2 hours in the books without a trade in Major League Baseball.
It is getting crazy now. It's actually getting concerning.
I mean, Coach said it best on YouTube. We're going to play the breaking news sounder like 12 times on Monday.
It's going to be all Monday.
I mean, I don't know how we plan for the show on Monday if it is still this quiet going into Monday. I would think at some point the floodgates open here.
You would have to imagine.
But I keep saying that every day this week, and every day keeps passing by.
We keep having the same conversation.
Now, Jeff Passan did go on ESPN last night and say that Tarek Skubal is getting traded. So that may be the thing that kind of gets this moving, that the Tigers are going to be sellers here at the deadline. But we'll see. All right, leftovers. All the
Are they going to trade anybody else? Sorry.
Casey Mize.
Good one.
Good go.
Good one. Leftovers. We've kind of been talking about this a couple times. We talked about the dodgeball game. Then we talked about him in OTAs. But now, I'm sorry, he looks good yesterday. Malik Neighbors looks very healthy. They feel very confident in where he's at right now after practice number 1 in training camp.
One practice, this is what we're doing?
Well, I just, from a health standpoint, like he was moving good comparatively to how he was moving. Nothing to do with football, all to do with health.
Okay. Still a long way to go, though, right?
Yes.
We got, 2 months until the season?
We do.
I'm gonna just temper my expectations a little bit.
Drew Brees made a call yesterday, kind of a viral video that went around. He asked Sean Payton to do his acceptance speech at the Pro Football Hall of Fame inductee.
So the video got leaked yesterday.
Yeah.
Has to have been from before yesterday.
You
right?
would imagine, yeah.
I mean, we're not asking, Sean Payton to turn around an important speech in like a week,
before,
right? Like,
yeah.
I listen, I know you can just ask ChatGPT, but I don't think,
I don't think
Sean's not going to want to do that. He's going to want to put some time and thought into it. So I tend to think that this was asked a little bit after Drew got noticed that he was going into the Hall of Fame, and we're just seeing the video now. I guess I'm just certainly hoping that that's the case.
You would have to imagine.
I'm hoping.
Some injury news in baseball right before the trade deadline. Nick Kurtz is set for an MRI today on his forearm after he was hit by a pitch last night.
A lot of injuries to the A's here late in the game. Langoliers got hurt.
There was a rumor
that they were going to trade him, and now that's off the table. We'll see. We'll see what the A's do at the deadline.
Yeah, they'll be an interesting team because I don't know, other than Jeff McNeil, like what do they really have to sell? Jeffrey Springs?
They can move
want Jeffrey Springs.
Right, they can move a starter.
Hogan Harris, right? Yesterday we talked about him as a potential reliever
Correct.
that they could move. So they've got some options.
And then today, Shane McClanahan got the start for the Rays, and unfortunately, he exited the game with back tightness.
Oh,
so
no.
another injury for the Rays' stud starting pitcher when he is out there.
Does that mean the Rays try to go all in for Tarek Skubal?
And then a buyer with a newfound buyer with some really disappointing news yesterday. Byron Buxton will return to the 10-day IL with a hip injury.
Yeah, really helping my fantasy team.
I thought you were a seller. Didn't you give up on
I was. One of the pieces I was trying to move was Byron Buxton. He's carrying a $50 million salary for me next year. trying to move that.
You're not going to be able to move that.
Thanks.
That's tough. When on the field, though, he's great.
You know, that's not helping me in the moment.
Because he's not on the field?
Because he's not on the field.
Draymond Green yesterday signed a 1-year, $27.7 million deal with the Warriors. He will stay in Golden State.
We're getting a ton of leaks about the purported proposal to LeBron from the Warriors to try to get him to team up with Steph.
I didn't see this.
Yeah.
Was there a number?
No, I didn't hear a contract. Just like their pitch of like, I think the word they used was spectacle of two future Hall of Famers, Steph Curry and LeBron James, playing every night with each other. Like just every night going out there and just doing crazy things together.
A spectacle is a great way to put that.
The sales pitch didn't work because he picked Philadelphia.
What a spectacle that's going to be.
Maybe not in a good way.
I can't tell if you are you're anti-LeBron or anti-Sixers.
Yes.
Both?
Yes.
You never been a LeBron guy?
I'm not going to say I'm not a LeBron guy. I've just never really like rooted for him.
Okay.
You know?
Are you a LeBron or Jordan guy?
I'm a Jordan guy.
You're a Jordan guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I'm a LeBron guy.
Yeah.
But I also think more people my age are LeBron guys.
You're also 8 years younger than me.
Yeah. Yeah, like I never watched a season of Jordan.
Right. I mean, I didn't either. I mean, even though I'm older than you, I still didn't watch.
Yeah,
him
I was trying to do the math in my head. I didn't think you would either.
No.
So, yeah, I don't really know. I don't. Yeah, I don't know what to say about that. But I'm a LeBron guy. By the way, Steelers' Aaron Rodgers came out and said there's zero debate this will be his last year.
Thank goodness.
It'll be really sad. He'll be the last of that era of football that I grew up with.
Yeah, I don't think you really have anybody else. It's particularly Stafford to a certain extent.
Oh yeah, that's the answer.
Trying to think, he's probably the
this
last.
could be his last year.
Could be. And then it'll,
I got to tell you, I've still been thinking about it. I can't believe he's a 99.
It's still bothering you all these days later. We talked about that on Monday, I think.
Yes.
Still bothering you on a Thursday.
Yes. By the way, in case you were wondering, Deion Sanders is giving his insight on Shador to the Browns. Todd Monken thinks it's really cool and appreciates it.
I don't think Todd Monken thinks it's cool or appreciates it. I know he just said that, but I don't believe.
This is a ridiculous story.
Todd, I don't believe you. Lies.
This is a ridiculous story. This is the headline. Deion Sanders gives Browns insight on Shador Sanders. What could he have possibly given?
Yeah, I have no idea.
They don't tell you what he said.
I have no idea.
Quote, "It was really cool," Monken said. Deion Sanders, are you kidding me? Forget that. It's Shador's dad. I mean, first of all, he did an unbelievable job with Shador. Great kid, and obviously an elite football player. Heck, even baseball player. And then as a coach, I mean, wow. Everything he's achieved has been awesome. He gave me a little bit of insight, but we're up against it.
I don't believe any of that. Don't believe any of it.
That's going to do it for us. Thursday edition of the show in the books. Jim Rome is coming up next. Producer Evan, thank you for all that you do. Everybody, have a great rest of your Thursday. We'll talk to you tomorrow. See ya!
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.